lawmakers just passed a law. It hasn't been signed by Governor Newsom, but giving government assistance to undocumented immigrants to buy houses. Mm-hmm. That's kind of a different place than the Democratic Party used to be on immigration. Now, I'm not going to say that's what the country's going to do, but that's certainly where California is.
Well, let me just say, immigration had always been a bipartisan issue. I refer you to
But not free houses.
Well, that's not free housing. It's the American dream being available to more people. But understand this about immigration. The best speech on immigration was by President Ronald Reagan. This is the last speech I will make as President of the United States. I want to communicate a message to the country I love. And he talked about the Statue of Liberty and the beacon of hope it is to the world, and what America was preeminent in the world because our door was always open, and we will cease to be preeminent when we shut the door. Now, I don't do justice to the great communicator. Google it. It's a fabulous speech. And George Herbert Walker Bush continued in that respect for the diversity of America and the rest. California's always in the lead. Maybe others will follow that lead, but that's up to those states. But we are very blessed here with beautiful diversity.
So you'd vote for this law?
Excuse me?
So you'd vote for this law?
Well, I'm not familiar with exactly what it is, but making the American dream of home ownership available to all people is something we have to do for people who are here now.
This is before you're into this. This is undocumented. This is for the undocumented.
Well, what I would like to do is move them to documented. In fact, one of the best things that we can do for our economy is to pass comprehensive immigration reform.
Wow. All right. You can't get me clearer than that. Nope. We're losing our country, folks. Shelley, what are your thoughts here?
Again, we talked about this before. She made a point about basically President Ronald Reagan and George Bush when some Republicans have signed bills to allow what they call legal amnesty or amnesty for illegals. I disagree with that. Now, granted, that was done. However, she has misrepresented President Reagan, basically insinuating that he's saying, oh, all illegals just come and, flood our country and you'll be welcome here. That is not what he said. That is not what he advocated. Getting people legal, making them legal while they're already here is one thing, but inviting illegals to come and to still be illegal, that's a whole different thought. And that's what she's doing. Like Joy Reid, she is misconstruing on purpose what she's saying.
Yeah. First of all, that was a totally different time as well. We have embarked on a time period right now where we have been overrun by illegals. I mean, from the border and things like that. We didn't have these issues when Reagan was in, not even when Bush was in, not as bad as it is right now. And so, for her to make that statement, and again, Reagan was not talking about illegals. He was not talking about illegals. I want to get your thoughts on this, Shelley. Yana.
It's embarrassing, the fact that this lady is talking about comparing Reagan and his speech about immigrants who were coming to this country to make it their new home, to be Americans, and who actually came here and they worked really hard for things that they wanted. They were not just given things. Like, that was never the case. I mean, the first people who settled, some of the first people who settled here, they actually had to come as indentured servants, and they had to work for free in order to stay here. And so immigrants later on, I mean, they lived in very poor conditions just to make it. And now, I mean, she's advertising to the whole world that just come here, we'll give you a house, and then we'll make you legal. So like you come here legally, you break the law, and then we make you legal. So she's advertising her yeah, like it's like a commercial, for Democrats. Come here, we'll make you legal, and then you're gonna vote for us.
Yeah, this is scary. I mean, I think she even shocked Bill Maher because he was not expecting her to take that stance. He was trying to make a difference between legal and illegal. He was like, but they're undocumented. And she was like, well, I want to make the undocumented legal. I want to make them documented. I mean, he was even shocked. He had to ask her. He was like, you're not saying that this is what you want the country, the whole country to do, because he was saying this is happening in California. Kamala Harris will want to do this. She's going to do this. And he's saying you're not saying you want this for the whole country. Pelosi saying yes, we do. That's not the American dream. Is about freedom. It's about fighting for your rights. It's about fighting for what is yours. I mean, and again, we're going to talk about this. We watched that Reagan movie, and they were about hard work. It's not just you come here, you take and just take. It's not about that.
Yeah, another way she's misconstruing what President Reagan and other Republicans, agree. Again, amnesty in the United States was one thing, but their whole, definitely President Reagan, one of his main themes of being a president was spreading freedom around the world. Therefore, if other countries, particularly the Soviet Union, if you break down the walls of communism, you can spur economic and social freedom in your country, then there's no need for you to come to America illegally, because you will have those opportunities in your countries. Your countries will be built up from a capitalist model. You will have the freedom, the finances to support your country, your family in your country, to make your countries better. So this is a whole misconstruing of the whole theme, if you will, particularly of President Reagan's presidency, or maybe his life.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, about that, so Kamala said something also about going to other countries and somehow helping them and their economies so the people don't come here. I don't think that's a good idea. Like, I don't really agree with that. Like, I don't think it's America's responsibility to go to other countries and help them in anything. It's their job, their responsibility to take care of their economies, of make their choices, regardless of who the leader is. I think that a country can choose to have a communist president, a communist leader. That's their choice. Like, that's democracy. They will realize eventually their mistake. Like, that's what's going on in Venezuela and in Cuba. So I don't think it was really right for America to go and try to change regimes. Like, I don't agree with that.
Kamala Harris and the Democrats are not talking about that. They're literally talking about bringing in millions of undocumented, illegal immigrants to vote for them. And then they want to push communism on them and the entire country. This is what this is. And as we know, Ronald Reagan was largely against communism. He fought for freedom. And so this is what they're trying to do. This is what they're trying to remake our country. This is what it is.
Amnesty for the illegals who were already in the country is different than allowing and opening the borders to just come on in and take over. That's two different things. And again, there was a healthy debate among Republicans, conservatives, Democrats, liberals. There was a healthy debate at that time against the Republicans, for the Republicans, when they put forth the amnesty bill. But they never were they saying open the borders.
Right. And never has it been this bad. I mean, at this point, we cannot even, do any type of amnesty for people who have got.
They'll keep on coming. They will keep on coming. So it's like, it's going to be endless.
Right.
If you have Like, you have to stop the flow.
Right.
And the only way to stop it is to have that wall, to have really good border security, and also stop saying that there's going to be literally like incentives for them to come here, because then more and more people, like, a person will risk their life to cross that desert and the river and all that horrible things that are happening there in order to get a free house in America. Like, of course.
And we have a homeless issue going on right now in cities across the country. I mean, inflation is skyrocketing. Americans need help. Not to say, this is even a good plan, but again, they're talking about giving up to $150,000 to illegals, undocumented illegals in California for homes. I mean, help me understand, why would anyone vote for these people? We are in dire needs right now in our country. Many people, hardworking Americans, are struggling, and they want to give Nancy Pelosi, Kamala Harris, all of them want to give our hardworking tax-paying dollars to illegals.